Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me today for another episode of Gold Wingnut Live. Each week I answer your questions about things happening in Sumter County and the villages. These weekly broadcasts and the construction update videos I produce are two of the ways I bring information to you about the construction happenings here in the villages. At Gold Wingnut Productions, I also provide a photo video service for new homes under construction. If you're building a new home in the villages and you need someone to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates, then contact me through my website, goldwingnut.com, and arrange for a photo video package for your new home. I've nearly 20 years in the construction industry as a project manager, and in the last 6 years, Gold Wingnut Productions has provided this valuable service to over 300 homeowners. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work's being done right and when it's not. I'm not just taking pictures like some others do. I'm watching your home build with a trained eye to help ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange your package today. Now let's get started with the show.
I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone.
Sounds good to me.
If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally.
That idea makes a lot of sense.
You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
Thank you.
We treat a drop in temperature like a major event. It's the only time of year we can wear our sweater. It's so rare, it's like an alien invasion. Everybody's looking at it, nobody knows what to do with it. Snow clothes down here is really just everything you own but layered. One flake falls and the whole town's lined up at the Piggly Wiggly acting like it's the end time. Soon as the temperature drops, boom, school's canceled for a week. We might not know how to drive in it, but we sure know how to panic about it. It's so rare the snowmen even look confused about why they're here. Half an inch of snow and suddenly every southern dad starts reminding us this ain't nothing compared to that snow back in '93.
Going out in the wild.
Hi, I'm Don Wiley, and you may know me from my informational YouTube videos or as a Sumter County Commissioner. But today I have a different role. I coordinate providing Thanksgiving dinner for all the fire stations in the villages, and I'm reaching out to you today to ask you for your help in this effort. This project started 10 years ago in Ventura Villas, where my friends and neighbors and I got together to provide Thanksgiving dinner for Fire Station 45. It has grown now to providing all 11 VPSD fire stations with Thanksgiving dinner. This year, I'm pleased to announce that we're also teaming up with my fellow County Commissioner Jeff Bogue to feed all the fire stations in Sumter County. Because their schedules are so unpredictable, our firefighters aren't able to take the time to prepare Thanksgiving dinner for themselves. My fellow station coordinators and I organize and deliver a traditional Thanksgiving dinner for each fire station. If you'd like to help out this year, go to my website, goldwingnut.com, and click on the Thanksgiving link on the home page, where you'll find contact information for each of the station coordinators for the station nearest you. I'm pleased to announce that for the second year, Lowe's is providing all the soft drinks and other supplies for each of the fire stations. And this year, Four Rivers Barbecue in Middleton is providing smoked turkeys for each of the fire stations. One of the great things about living here in the villages is that the residents come from all over this great country and bring with them amazingly delicious recipes that are hometown and family favorites. Our firefighters love the amazing variety of dishes we bring each year. If you have a family or a hometown favorite dish you'd like to share with our firefighters, please reach out to one of the station coordinators through my website, goldwingnut.com. I know that many of you may not be here for Thanksgiving, but may still want to help out. Not to worry, you can. We can also accept monetary donations either through the GoFundMe links on my website, goldwingnut.com, or in person to one of the station coordinators. All funds collected go to the Gold Wingnut Foundation, a 501c3 charity. Funds are used to purchase any needed supplies or dishes that may still be needed for each of the stations, and all remaining funds are donated to the Firefighters Emergency Funds. We've made over $10,000 in donations in the last 9 years to help out our firefighters. So if you'd like to help out, please reach out to one of the station coordinators or I. Your support is greatly appreciated. Please also help spread the word on these efforts and share this information on your other social media groups, with your friends, neighbors, and other social groups. Thanks for helping out, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
So we all know when people move into their homes, especially in Florida, we're limited for storage space. So what we do is we come in and help create storage space by maximizing what is currently available in their kitchens and their closets and other rooms. So a few of the things that we really pride ourselves on is communication with the customer, and our attention to detail is second to none. If you're looking to transform your kitchen, closet, or any other space in your home, give us a call or check out our website to book an appointment.
Hi everyone, and good afternoon. It's Dawn, and welcome to Gold Wingnut Live. Today's sponsor is Kitchen Wise and Closet Wise. They provide a wide selection of finishes for your kitchens, cabinets, the closets, some great stuff. Other sponsors today are Magic Stairs. Ron Brunner is a Villages resident. He provides a great product to get into your attic instead of those rickety stairs like you get at Lowe's and Home Depot. Shade Masters. If you have a shade need, man, these are the place to go to, whether it's blinds, shades, screens, whatever. Go see the folks over at Shade Masters, and of course, Surf to Turf Home Inspections. Tom Stevens, great guy, does a great job on inspecting your home. Just be sure to call him early before you get the inspection. He's got a really packed schedule, so he needs a week or so to get you in to make sure everything happens on time for your house. And a new sponsor this week is the Grout Medic. They do grout work. They seal the grout in your tiles. They'll do repairs, things like that. It's actually a part of the Kitchen Wise, Closet Wise group. Scott is the owner of both companies, and he's just launching this particular franchise. I think it's going to do quite well. All right, so let's talk. Wow, we got a couple of things coming in here. What's going on here? So we got a question about radon, and we'll talk about that. I actually know a little bit about radon. I messed with radiation for over 20 years while I was in the Navy. So anyway, what else is going on? Thanksgiving is coming up, folks. I can't believe it is already almost Thanksgiving. And I'm not sure where the time went. We kicked off the fundraising activities for the firefighters back in July, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was July. And we've been going ever since. Took 22 turkeys over to the folks at Four Rivers. Four Rivers is cooking all our turkeys for us this year. And then they're also providing dressing and gravy. A lot of residents throughout the community are providing dishes. We've had a lot of donations this year. I think we're almost at $5,500 in donations. Some of that has went to pay for the turkeys, but even then with the turkeys, we got a great deal. I talked to the folks at Publix. If you go there to buy a turkey, you can get up to 2 turkeys for 49 cents a pound. They gave us all 22 turkeys at 49 cents a pound. So it came into about a third of what I had anticipated for the cost of turkey. So we're doing great. All the excess money is going to go to our Firefighters Relief Fund. One of the things I spoke with some of the other commissioners about is doing a Christmas dinner also for our firefighters. We'll delve into that after we get past Thanksgiving. If you want to help out with Thanksgiving, go to my website, goldwingnut.com/Thanksgiving. If you want to contribute food, talk to the coordinators. Most of the stations are in pretty good shape. My station that I'm handling, Station 49, which is the new one, it's on McNeil, south of Central Parkway. If you can see it in the distance when you're going on Central Parkway, and you're taking the detour there to get over to 470 on the Turnpike. They are active. They are supporting Station 49 and Station 48 and 47. So they're going to both sides. They don't have any houses there yet, but it won't be long. But we could use food. If you got a dish you want to make, go to the website, fill out the information for Station 49 coordinator. They'll come to me, and we will. I'll be getting in touch with you. It's a great thing that these firefighters, they really appreciate the food. What else? But yeah, so Thanksgiving really is it's a great time. All right. Let's see. All right. I'm just going through the list here. We'll talk about radon in just a minute for BV bomb. Let me make sure there's no other quick questions we can do. Hi everyone. Hello. Happy Sunday. Muskie wants to know about the video. So I have been working diligently on, 162. In fact, 5 minutes before the broadcast started, I was still finishing up my voiceovers. I got about 10 more minutes of the video to do voiceovers, and I'll be burning it and posting it just as soon as I can. That's intermixed with doing some prep cooking for Thanksgiving. Debbie and I have been working all day, so we'll get to that. We're making chocolate chip cookies tonight. Far be it from me to pass up helping her with chocolate chip cookies. All right, what else is going on? So let's talk about, okay, so, excuse me. Where'd it go? So BV Bum 863 asked, hi Dawn, have you checked your radon levels in your home? I've heard Central Florida has higher radon levels than some other areas. Thank you. So, what is radon? Okay, radon is an odorless, colorless gas. It's actually a helium atom with the electrons stripped off. So it has a very high positive charge, charged particle. The good thing about radon is that it's easily blocked with clothing and things like that. So the bad thing about radon is it's airborne, and it's highly reactive with cells. So if you breathe it in, it can cause some problems. Radon is a naturally occurring gas. It's given off things like granite, concrete. It's all over. Everywhere you go, there's granite. The best thing you can do to limit your radon exposure, if you're worried about it, is keep your house well ventilated. If you seal up your house, it's possible that you can get a buildup if there is a source. I worked with radioactive material for 20 years when I was in the Navy. I operated a nuclear reactor, and alpha particles were not a great concern because they are so easily blocked. Yeah, I'll say it. This is more of a scare tactic. It was several years ago a big scare where they tried to make issues of radon building up in the basements of houses and things like that. And again, the radon itself is not the problem. It's the radioactive decay and the emission of an alpha particle that's the problem. It's extremely low concentration. It's really not something you have to be losing sleep over, honestly. So, myself, I like keeping the doors and windows open. So, whether it's at the apartment or at the house, wherever, we keep the doors and windows open as much as possible, and I'm not worried about it. But it's really not a major concern here in Florida. Let's see. Hope that answers it. Let's see. Group instead of grout. Did I really do that? Thanks, Mushki. I'm really bad at typos. Fortunately, that's an easy fix. Yeah. So I had a brief chat with Scott. He's real excited about the business. It's taking off, and he's really not even advertising it yet. Yep, we do have group cleanings. Yeah, everybody jump in the shower together. We'll have a group cleaning. How about that? All right. Let's see. Happy Sunday to all. Hope all is well done. Yep. Hi, Carol. Good to see you again. Yeah, 162 is really good. I'm really pleased with the way it's turning out. Like I said, just got to finish up the voiceovers. Everything else is done. Jerry, you ask a great question. How many chocolate chip cookies? You know, it's a weakness. It is a weakness. We bought I think it's a 10-pound bag of Nestle's chocolate morsels at Costco. And so Debbie went out and I think she bought 10 pounds of flour and 10 pounds of sugar. So we're going to be cooking all evening today. So it's something easy on the grill, burgers on the grill tonight, and the rest of the time is going to be making cookies. Thank goodness for parchment paper. Yeah, it's a godsend. Let's see. Prime and Ember. You know, it's on my list of things to do. I got a list here of stuff I wanted to talk about today. So Prime and Embers. So this past Monday, a week ago, Sunday, after the broadcast, Debbie and I went to Prime and Ember. We had dinner there. Fred Karamarpour, the owner of FMK restaurants, he's outdone himself. I mean, it is absolutely fabulous food. And I will start with the one word, well, it's a two-word, I guess, that really is some of the best on the menu. Cheesecake, okay? I had salmon cheesecake to start with and New York style cheesecake to end the meal. I know, salmon cheesecake, it's like, what the heck? When we first saw it on the menu, I was going, really? Because I'm thinking sweet New York style cheesecake. And no, this was a cream cheese with smoked salmon in it. It was fabulous, absolutely fabulous. You know, Debbie walked in saying, well, I'll give it a try, but I'm not sure. And we walked out saying, we're getting that every time we come here for an appetizer. It was really good. I had lobster bisque. Debbie had French onion soup. Both were exquisite. I had a filet mignon and grilled shrimp. Debbie had sea scallops. She had scallops. I don't remember what it was the menu on the menu, but she enjoyed it. I enjoyed the New York strip. It was, or excuse me, the filet mignon. It was awesome. The shrimp was really good, and of course we shared a piece of New York style cheesecake. It was hearty. Okay, you know, sometimes you get cheesecake and it's like almost like pudding. Okay, this was really stout, but it wasn't dry. It was firm. It had body to it. It had flavor to it that was phenomenal. But it was pretty awesome. Overall, the meal was great. The service was fantastic. You know, they're still working a few bugs out, and you know, with timing and that. But overall, I was very pleased. We will be back. I know the big question is how much. Dinner was about $200 for the two of us before tip. It's obviously not someplace I'm going to go every week, but you know, considering what I had, oh yeah, I had Debbie had a margarita. I had a smoked old fashioned that was just awesome. I think they used some sort of cherry wood to smoke it. It was really good. Yeah, a little pricey, but you know, I mean, I used to be a member of the Anglers Club, and you know, $300 was nothing for dinner. I mean, that was almost normal. You know, $150 for breakfast sometimes when we'd go there. It was a little more than was sustainable, but you know, for 2 years it was pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, but if you get a chance to go to Prime and Ember, go. I highly recommend it. I haven't been up to the terrace yet for drinks. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Definitely not Tuesday. I got a lot going on Tuesday and Wednesday, and of course, Thanksgiving is coming up on Thursday. What is this? Tammy wants to know, do you know if they will be installing video cameras at Eastport like they do at the other squares in Sawgrass? I'm going to assume yes. Consistency is pretty good. I mean, right now there's not much to watch. One of the beer kiosks, the bars, that's on the west side of the pavilion, the entertainment pavilion, is open. That's pretty good. What else is open there? Of course, Prime and Ember is open. Of course, the 18th, the 18th of next month, the hotel opens, and that will also be Yamas, the Mediterranean restaurant. I'm really looking forward to that because I love Greek and Turkish food. And what's the other one? Oh yeah, Sundays, the ice cream shop will be opening. So we're starting to see some things happen. I know they're working on the coffee shop. They're working on tacos and tequila, Stone and Oak and Stone, I think it is. Basically it's a high-end drinking establishment with food. It's not started yet. It's still dirt inside there, but so it's coming alive. It's coming alive. Let's see. BV Bum says, buying new and have heard the driveway, lanai, garage, and sidewalks need to be sealed to prevent staining on the concrete. Can you give your opinion on the need to do this and reputable contractors? Now, I've never heard of anybody sealing their driveways or lanais or garage floors. A lot of people get them painted for aesthetic reasons. Many people have the driveways and walkways ripped out and put down, what do they call it? Pavers. And that looks really nice. But I've not heard of anybody sealing it. I lived in the Courtyard Villa for, almost 11 years. And, pressure wash it. I'd have it pressure washed once a year. Everything looked fine. Obviously you don't want, if your vehicle is leaking oil, well, first off, you should get it fixed, okay? Because if you leak oil and then it rains, it's going to wash into the storm system and the retention ponds, and that's not good for anybody. The driveways, though, I don't see any need for sealing them. If you want to get them painted, that obviously helps. I'll probably do that. I'd actually thought about doing that when Debbie was supposed to be on a cruise, but that plan kind of fell apart. So did the cruise. All right. Let's see. Craig says, I noticed the villages removed the shade sails on the right side of the stage of this porch. Do you know what the reason for this or issue is? I think they had a cable break, okay? Because I saw that too. When I saw it, it wasn't being removed. One side of it was down, okay? Indicating to me that obviously something went amiss, something broke. And they ended up taking the whole thing down. It wasn't because of the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree is actually in front of the sail canopy on the left side of the stage. So I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I'm sure they'll get it up just as soon as they get the parts in that they need. They have some experience of doing this now, especially with Sawgrass Grove, with that canopy there. That's quite the contraption, if you will, for a canopy at Sawgrass. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah, I come to the house every morning to get my dogs, take them to the dog park. And this morning, I was amazed. I'm going down, what is it, Bar Boulevard with the dogs in the car. And I set the cruise to 30 miles an hour, which is the speed limit, because I don't want to speed, because if I get a speeding ticket, I know it will be all over a certain website about a county commissioner not obeying the law and speeding laws and things like that. Anyway. And I was about, I don't know, 100 feet behind a golf cart, and he was pulling away. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Unbelievable. The speed limit for a golf cart is 20 miles an hour. If you get stopped doing more than 20 miles an hour, okay, you're not going to get a speeding ticket, okay? You're going to get cited for operating an unlicensed vehicle, okay, and an unregistered vehicle. And that's not a traffic offense. That's a civil offense. And it's going to cost you some money. What's the hurry? We're all retired here. Well, I'm not, I guess. But, slow down, folks. Personally, I think these golf cart companies that are selling these, especially these 4-seater lithium golf carts, they're doing over 30 miles an hour. They're not designed for that kind of speed. They don't have the safety equipment for that kind of speed. When I was coming back, I came up Bexley Trail to Marsh Bend Trail from Eastport. It was foggy. I'm doing 30 miles an hour. The speed limit's 35. I'm doing 30 just because of the fog. And I look over to my left, and here comes another one of those 4-seaters, and it passes me. Okay, in the fog, doing that fast. Are you kidding me? Come on, folks. Let's be sensible. All right. What do we got here? So Jim Kim says, we just closed on a designer last week in Edenfield. Well, congratulations. Small walkway at the front door. The small walkway at the front door on Arla and I were painted as part of our build. Really? Now, I have never seen them paint as part of a build. I'll be honest with you, John. I would be curious as to what's under the paint. Yeah, I mean, because that is very unusual that that's happened. Let's see. Tim wants to know what is the. Whoops, something just jumped up. Here we go. What is the status of naming a highway after Charlie Kirk? So, last county commission meeting, basically, it'll be 2 weeks ago Tuesday. The county commission voted 4-1 to name the stretch of Powell Road from 44 to 466A as the Charlie Kirk Memorial Highway. The signs are being made up. We do that internally at the county. We have our own sign shop. Grand total cost is a couple $100 is all to put up the signs. One sign at each end. That's the whole length of it. It's happening. It was approved by the county commission. All right. Let's see. People seem to be strongly on Team Nova water filtration or Team Pegasus. Is there a real difference between the two systems or just personal preference? Love your show. Thank you. So they both install the tri-filter, the 3-canister filter system. So I definitely recommend either one. I've worked with Nova for a few years now. They're one of my advertisers. I put them in my house because I trust them. I've met Bob. Bob Novak is the owner of the company. So that's what I went. Pegasus, same basic product. You can get the same product if you want from Home Depot, Lowe's, or on Amazon. Okay. just you have to install it yourself. After that, then there is an ion exchange or resin bed, and whether it uses salt or one of the other elements for the ion exchange. I don't think it's necessary. I think with the water filter, I can tell the difference big time. But other than that, yeah, I don't think that there's much difference, honestly. I think they both have a good product. All right, let's see. Oh boy, I got lost here. Okay, we talked about Nova. Let's see. Craig says, I'm not sure if it's the dealers is as much available as it may be the availability of tuning software you can buy online to modify these golf carts. Okay, it could be. I've not delved into it at all. Any word on the vacant building on Villages Golf Carts in Magnolia Plaza? Nope, nothing. I haven't heard anything. They just named Charlie Kirk Memorial Highway in Idaho. They've done it in Lake County. They've done it in, I think, Marion County. They're doing it all a lot of places. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up here. I'm looking at two different lists. Okay. While we're on the topic of speed limits, every day I drive Marshbend Trail from Saluki to Magnolia Plaza. The speed changes from 20 to 35 to 45 to 55. There's been some complaints on social media. Oh wait, let's finish. Okay. However, my new car never has the correct speed electronically on my dashboard. Who communicated? Okay, so I know what you're talking about. The built-in GPS on many new cars tells you the speed limit. I have that on my truck. It shows up on the heads-up display on the windshield. I don't know who's in charge, who's tasked with that. No idea, to be honest with you. I honestly haven't paid much attention. I look at the speed limit signs and I just try and do the speed limits. Let's see. There's been some complaints on social media that Nova filters can break leaking water due to plastic. I have Nova and I've been 4 years without any problems. I mean, honestly, these housings, I've looked at Nova, I've looked at the ones at Lowe's, Home Depot. I haven't ordered any from Amazon. I've looked at one from Pegasus. They all look the same to me. I don't see that there's much difference. They're just a canister system that holds the filter. If Nova's had a problem with, they could have had a bad batch of filters. That's possible. These things happen. Could be that when you're the dominant player in the field, you're going to have more issues just because there's always going to be a percentage. But I don't know of any kind of major problem. Let's see. Communicates the. All right. Communicate the new speed limit to the car or whoever sends the signals to the car. Again, I think it's part of your car's GPS system. It's because I don't know of anything on any of these signs that are transmitting anything. It's just built into the GPS system. Let's see. T&D paints the concrete, does this all the time to hide their defects. That's an interesting comment. I mean, I know some of the guys that work at T&D. I've been, gotta understand, I have been taking pictures of homes being built for the last 6.5 years. I've done well over 300 homes now. I have never seen them paint concrete to hide issues. I have seen them cut out sections of concrete and replace it if there's a defect, but I've never seen them paint anything to hide it. I've had Nova for 2 years, no problems. That's good to know. You should have them remove the concrete and pour it again. T&D did mine, horrible paint job. You should never apply paint to concrete. Actually, there's paint that's designed to go on concrete. You know, but I'm no concrete expert, so I'm not gonna try and say one way or the other what's the right answer on that particular topic. Let's see. What's this now? Oh, we fell for this, and the paint is fading. We are doomed. Okay. Interesting. BB wants to know, wondering if the shower grout should be sealed when the house is new, or is there some bit of sealant no, there is no sealant on the grout on a new house. I highly recommend you get it sealed. I'm looking at our master shower, and that's one of my jobs around the house, is to clean the grout and that. And I'm probably going to have the grout medics come and seal mine up, just because I'm getting tired of looking at it. But there is no sealer on the grout, so I highly recommend you get it done. Nova redesigned their housing for the filters. Comes with a 3-year warranty. Okay, that's good to know. Robbie sent a blank line. Okay, defects are caused by... Okay, don't know what you're trying to say there. We'll look at that. Anyway, what time is it? Okay. All right. Whew. All right. Time to pay the banker. So we'll be back in just a minute. Thanks for sticking with today's broadcast of Gold Wingnut Live. Pardon me for just a minute while I go grab a fresh cup of coffee and stretch my legs and back. While you're waiting, let me ask you a quick question. Are you building a new home in the villages and need someone with a trained eye to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates? Then contact me through my website, Wingnut.com, and arrange for a photo video package of your new home. I've nearly 20 years experience as a construction project manager, and I've been offering this valuable service to residents for over 6 years. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work is being done right and when it's not. Fortunately, serious issues are rare, but even the most minor issues are better caught during construction than during closing. I'm not just taking pictures of your home like others do. I'm watching your home being built with a trained eye to ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange for your package today. Now let's get back to the broadcast.
I think it's crazy that we have anger management, but we don't have stupidity management. I can't be mad, but you get to be dumb. That's very unfair. Especially because 99% of the time I get mad, it's because somebody's doing something stupid. So you just walking around as obtuse as you want to be, but it's a bunch of nagging and finger wagging the moment I say something about it. We need change in 2025. Either stop being stupid or deal with the consequences.
So we all know when people move into their homes, especially in Florida, we're limited for storage space. So what we do is we come in and help create storage space by maximizing what is currently available in their kitchens and their closets and other rooms. So a few of the things that we really pride ourselves on is communication with the customer, and our attention to detail is second to none. If you're looking to transform your kitchen, closet, or any other space in your home, give us a call or check out our website to book an appointment.
Yes, I agree with the gentleman. We definitely need stupidity training, or stupidity management training. All right. I saw that one. I couldn't help but I was dying laughing when I heard the guy. It's like I had to capture it. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Okay, wow. I got lost in my trying to read everything. Back to speed limits. The Sorrento can read speed limit signs. Now that one, I would believe, because these new systems they're putting in the new cars are absolutely amazing. I mean, if I take my hands off the wheel on the truck, it drives itself. It's amazing. John Kim, I don't know about the grout being impregnated with any kind of sealer. That's again, I mean, I know some of the grout guys. I've talked with them, and they have, and you know, when you've done as many houses, many houses, I've seen every stage of construction. I've seen everything they do. I have never ever seen them seal any grout. I've never seen a bucket of grout sealant in the garage after they do it or before they do it in staging. Nothing. So I wouldn't put too much credit into that one. Epoxy. Craig says epoxy paints often fade worse than other types, but there are polyura paints. I'm assuming he means polyurethane paints that are designed for concrete, that are UV resistant, therefore should not fade as much. You know, again, for me, I'm not a big fan of the painting of the driveways and that, mainly because I ride a motorcycle. My motorcycle weighs 900 pounds. If I put it down on the side stand, I mean, it's got a footprint about the size of your thumb that all that weight rests on the side stand. And I've seen it peel up paint and even epoxy paint on driveways and garages because of that. So it wasn't an option for me as far as the driveway. I mean, I thought about it and probably would do it for decorative purposes, but I was also considering, okay, I need to carry a foot with me to stick underneath the side stand because it's just not something that would hold up. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. BV Bum wants to know, can storing items in the attic be a fire hazard, especially cardboard boxes, paper, and seasonal items, since there is an intense heat in the summer? It's not that hot. Yeah, what does paper burn at? 451? Fahrenheit 451? Sorry. Flashback. I've never had any problem storing anything in the attic. I've been in Florida now for 20 years. We've always stored stuff in the attic. Plastics, I will tell you, break down. They start to, they become very brittle. I've taken suitcases out of the attic and dropped them down, and they just literally collapse and crumble to pieces because the plastic has just decayed and because of the heat. But most of the other stuff, it really doesn't impact it. It's not something I would worry about a fire hazard. I wouldn't put any liquids up there. I wouldn't put any kind of wax candles because you will have a mess. We had a souvenir can of original Coke that when we moved from Memphis, Tennessee to Haines City, Florida, it was in one of the boxes that was packed. Put it up in the attic. A couple of years later, I pulled the box down from the attic, and the can had exploded, and it was a mess. But other than that, a bunch of pictures stuck together. But other than that, we've never really had anything other than plastics break down. Let's see. Sam Propane says, I built a premier home, and I was asked to select the color of paint on my pool deck and my front patio entry. So they do paint entries, at least in my case, all at design appointment. Okay, so the pool decks, yes, they use an acrylic paint, and that's part of there's an acrylic texture that they put down. So even my pool that I had in my house in Hillsborough, it was painted. I chose a paint that matched the house paint. So they do that, but I've never seen them paint the front porch as part of the install. Now, if they're putting, the texture down, the acrylic texture down, it kind of looks like the knockdown on your ceiling, okay? Then they would paint it. So I could see that. But again, that's not something I've seen them do in all the houses I've taken pictures of. So Craig says he would also seal the grout. A great idea. I agreed. Sorry about your driveway. Okay. So Carol says, sorry about your driveway issues. Maybe contact one of the reputable companies to put a design or color over it. Yeah, possibly. Let's see, the grout used in the village is mappy grout with sealer in it. However, I agree with Dawn, and I seal all the grout with 511 impregnator. The grout premix with sealer is not sufficient. Yeah, I mean, mappy, by the way, mappy is made here. They have a plant in Wildwood. And they're a pretty big financial contributor to the county. Oh, sorry, got to have my coffee. You guys know that. Let's see. Now, Victoria, I haven't heard any updates on when entertainment is starting. I've heard some rumors, the first week in December, but any idea? Nothing really about nothing solid. I'll put it that way. Let's see. Craig wants to know, Don, any idea what the village is going to build in the softball fields in LaGrange Postal Station and Pool Center? Yes, it is Courtyard Villas. That is in video 162. I got a great plan of it. I'm trying to think. Do I have it handy? No, I don't have it. I don't have it handy on this computer. It's on the other computer, the graphic, or I'd throw it up. But it's just Courtyard Villas. The lots are 40 by 80 minimum size, which 40 by 80 is the standard size for a Courtyard Villa home. Let's see. Don, you mentioned your home in Haines City. Did you live on a golf course down there? No, I didn't live on a golf course. It was a small subdivision. There was 31 homes. I was the chairman of the HOA for 6 of the 7 years I lived there. A lesson I learned, don't speak up at an HOA meeting. You may be in charge. As soon as I spoke up, the guy who had been president of the HOA for 2 years, he basically said, time for an election. I'm out of here. And everybody pointed to me, and I got the job. But anyway. But no, didn't live on a golf course. My front has the texture and the paint. It all looks good. Okay, so yeah, if you got texture, they're going to put paint down. Okay. Let's see. Sure, spend $5,000 to cover up T&D junk. I lived in Florida since 1980. The village is the only place where they paint driveways. I spoke to companies who paint driveways who tell me they something. I lost the other part of that. They do not paint driveways, learned by mistakes. All right. Okay, so you have an opinion. I agree. The reason I've seen it done is for decorative purposes. We'll call it vanity driveways. I don't have a problem with it. I think it looks nice. It's not always necessary. I've only seen a couple that were gaudy, but otherwise they generally look pretty good. So I don't have a problem with it. But I'm going to defend T&D. I've seen their work now for the last 10 years. They do good work, and very, very few problems. So, okay. Any portion of the front porch is part of the actual foundation that's painted. Your home, okay. Our home, it was painted with the front entry direct in the front door. Okay. Must first. Okay. Let's see. Must first grind off the T&D junk paint. Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't give you a nickel for Florida paint. I've not. The Florida paint that they use to paint the inside of the houses, the white chalky flat is absolutely terrible. Every house we've ever had, it's been painted with either Sherwin-Williams or Behr Ultra, whatever. The top of the line Behr paint is what I always used. Let's see. Let's see. Dawn, is it true that the Rolling Stones are playing? the Eastport opening? I have no idea. I mean, the stones would fit in perfectly. I think if the stones come here, though, it's going to raise the average age of the villages probably by a couple of years, because these guys are 3 days older than dirt, but they can play. No, I haven't heard anything about such a thing. Driveways are always painted all throughout Florida. It's a Florida thing. Okay. Dawn, just play around with the Rolling Stones rumor. It'll be fun and funny. Okay, yeah. I have been in construction 35 years. T&D does good work. Okay. So, yeah, different opinions. Just because you have a house that might have a problem, that's not necessarily indicative of the reputation of a company. Occasionally things happen. It's how the company deals with them, in my opinion, that makes all the difference. You know, if a company deals with problems in a timely and accurate fashion, then that speaks volumes. My experience, direct experience with T&D, is they built the pool at my Courtyard Villa, and that was 8 years ago. They stood behind it. When they first filled it with water, we looked in it, and the acid wash wasn't done exactly right on the pool liner, so there was some differences in color. I pointed it out to them. They immediately pumped the pool down, dried it out, and re-acid washed it and fixed it. I had a couple of minor issues with leaks in the solar panels for the heating, and they always came out and fixed it, no questions asked. All right. Let's see. Craig says, we don't paint driveways in Spokane, Washington. We do, however, have to seal the driveways to avoid winter damage, to avoid from the road de-icer. If you don't seal it, you will have a driveway erosion. Yeah, okay, I can understand that. I live in Florida because I don't like it in the cold weather. Let's see. Muskie says, I see painted driveways all over Florida, St. Pete, Tampa, Gulf Barrier. Okay, so yeah, we see that a lot. Craig says, we had to replace our driveway after it eventually broke down to the point where twisting our ankles getting out of the car. Wow, that's bad. Timothy says, we need to name a highway after President Trump. Well, I know that there is I think the Florida Turnpike is actually the Ronald Reagan Memorial Highway. Normally that happens after they pass away, something like that. We've got, an aircraft carrier named Gerald Ford, a formidable weapons platform, not something you want to mess with. None of the American carriers or anything you want to mess with. There was a submarine named the USS, it is named the USS Jimmy Carter. It is a Seawolf class submarine. Naming things after presidents is fairly common. I second the Florida paint suck. It's extremely hard to paint over with a good paint. Yep. Let's see. Craig says, I'm with you, Don. I hate winter too. Can't wait to get down there where I can paint my driveway and never have to seal it again. Yeah. Man. We moved here, it's been almost 20 years now, from Memphis. So I've lived in the South for the last 30 plus years. So I love the South, love the food, love the humor. If you can't tell, the young lady who does the different things that Southerners say and do, yeah, lady after my own heart. I've met a lot of women like her in my time in the South, but the nice thing is, the farther south you go, the warmer it gets, the better it is, in my opinion. Let's see. There's an awesome President Trump mural on the Turnpike on the way to Orlando. I love it. Okay, I haven't seen it. I haven't been down to Orlando in a couple of weeks. Really haven't looked for it though. Normally I'm not looking at the scenery. I normally have the music cranked up and I'm singing with the music. What can I say? I'm still a teenager at heart when it comes to rock music. Let's see. Carol says, I agree, Florida paint is useless. I suggest anyone that purchases a new home to have it repainted with quality paint before they move in. You know, so let's talk about that. You know, you can get your house painted when you build a house, but you're going to pay for it. I think more than it's worth, based on what I've seen. You don't get a lot of choices, or let me rephrase it. You don't get as many choices as if you go to the Sherwin-Williams store or Home Depot for Behr paints. I happen to like those two brands a lot. Valspar isn't bad either. But I think I paid $3,000 to have the house painted before I sold it, and that was the whole house painted, interior-wise. Much cheaper than if you buy it new. And remember, and it's what I tell all my customers. I said, if you're doing your design, think about what you're putting into it, and only do in your initial build the things that are next to impossible to change. Making the garage larger, lanais larger, rooms enlarged, you know, the basic design of the kitchen. But before you start investing a lot of money in flooring, look at what they offer. If they don't offer what you like, don't do it. Save the money, because anything you drop in there new is going to be reflected on your property tax bill for as long as you own the home, okay? It's part of the sale price, and that's going to be reflected on your property tax. If you, and I've seen it done several times now, people buy a new house and they'll drop $150,000 into the house getting things redone because they couldn't get what they wanted from the villages. The house is worth more, but they didn't have to pull a permit, so it doesn't trigger a reevaluation of property taxes. And you know, save yourself some money. I think same thing with the landscaping. We got some really, really talented landscapers here that work on the homes in the villages, and you know, I think you can do better. Same thing with crown molding and light fixtures and ceiling fans, even appliances. You know, if you want the high-end appliances, take the basic appliance package. Give them to Habitat for Humanity after the new appliances come in. This way that you know. I generally don't recommend ordering appliances until after you move in, so you get the right dimensions. But you know, if you got a question on some of this, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about it. Let's see. Never see it again. Saw that. Florida paint's useless. Congratulations on coordinating Thanksgiving food. Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a fun thing to do for the firefighters. So I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name there. Muskie lived in a community where every home had a brick paver driveway, a walkway much nicer and safer than painted driveway. I agree. I like the brick pavers. Yeah. Any other restaurants open in Eastport other than Prime and Ember? How was your meal there? Happy Thanksgiving. So the meal was fabulous at Prime and Ember's. It's the only restaurant open right now. Victoria, thank you, by the way, for the donation. You know, but there's more coming. It just takes time. Muskie, you got to tell me where this mural is so I can look for it next time I go down there. I got to go down there, I think, next week. Yeah, her car has got a Trump wrap on it. It looks great. Mural is near the service center just before I-4. Okay, so that is the Ocoee Service Center. That's where Sunwatch is at. Okay, I know that one quite well. Let the Blue Beast drive itself and check. I found out if you let go of the wheel long enough, You know, first it beeps, then it beeps faster, then it really starts going crazy, and then it starts pumping the brakes. And after it pumps the brakes a couple of times, then it actually slows down and turns on the emergency flashers. I was playing. What can I say? So I'll look for the mural though. Let's see. BV Bum says, I know the Villages does an excellent job at water mitigation, but I'm wondering if flood insurance is needed in the Eastport area. Thank you. So you can go to the county. Let's go to the map. I'll show you where you can find out if you're going to need flood insurance. Now, this is temporary most of the time. If you need flood insurance, it takes about 3 years for FEMA to upgrade our maps. So that's all in the progress right now. Let's go over to the web browser and we'll bring up the county map. Okay, Sumter County. We're going to go to the interactive map here at the bottom. Click on OK. Flood and elevation data. And I think it's FEMA flood zones. Let's zoom in to that area and see what it comes up with. Okay, whoops. All right. It takes a minute to download some of the data, so I apologize for the delay. Turn on some. Come on. I know there's some flood zones around here. There we go. So, the flood zone stuff is popping up. There will be, like some parcels like these right here. Let's see what it says about that. Oh, that just tells you who owns it. All right. But anyway, take a look. Let me see. I'll go down to where my other house is. So here you can see some wetland, some flood zones, okay? And so this is two of my neighbor's house. They have to have flood insurance. They have to have, I believe they have to have flood insurance. This is the house that I own with my wife. We don't have to have it. So all these flood maps are being updated by FEMA. The county has submitted the information. Again, it takes 2 to 3 years. Once we get the data, we'll update them, and then you can cancel your flood insurance. But if you have a mortgage, then it's going to be necessary to have flood insurance if you have a mortgage. I know people that don't have mortgage and don't have flood insurance because they know that it's going to be, changed, these flood zones. So there you go. So again, if you don't have flood insurance, if you have flood insurance, or excuse me, if you have a mortgage, you're probably going to need flood insurance if you're in one of these zones. I mean, you can see like these folks right here. They got just a little bit of area in there. They get to have flood insurance, even though there's very little risk to their house, because this is based on the old data. Just the way it works, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is the house I was talking about right here. They got just a little bit in the front yard, and here's another one with just a little bit in the front yard. But all these areas, these have all been raised and redone. All right. Nice job on painting. Okay, let's see. All right. Sam Propane says, Steve Kling does a nice job on painting. I had him do it the week after closing. Very happy. 35 plus years painting. Oh, that's good to know. All right. Victoria wants to know, if you buy a new build and add a pool, does that make your taxes go up, or wait to add a pool after closing on the house? Okay, good question, Victoria. If you have a pool built while you're building your house, it's going to be on your tax bill, okay? Normally not the first year, the second year it shows up, because the first year you're paying taxes on the unimproved property. If you put a pool in, you have to pull a permit. That triggers the system saying that they need to reevaluate your home, and your taxes are going to go up anyway. So, you know, it sticks in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Nice thing about getting a pool done when the house is built is you don't have to go through 2 or 3 months. Well, if it's T&D, it's about 2 months of construction. I've seen some of the other builders take 6 months to build a pool. So, you know, I'm leaning very strongly to putting a pool in at the new house, and I'm going to go with T&D, just because I know their work, and I know it's going to be done quickly, and it's going to be done right, and I'm not going to have any problems with it. But I know that it'll trigger, you know, a property tax increase. I think when I put the pool in Ventura Villas, I think it made my property tax go up $50 a year. That's it. Okay, great videos, pictures, my home build 2 months ago. Well, thank you, Rebecca. All right, let's see. Sherwin-Williams Emerald is the best interior paint. Okay, good to know, Dave. You know, when I was in the Navy, for the longest time, I was senior enough to do paperwork and junior enough to paint. So, needless to say, the two things I hated to do were paperwork and painting. I would much rather do maintenance on the equipment, rebuild a piece of equipment, anything other than painting and paperwork. As I got farther along in my career, all I did was paperwork. Every time I'd get near the equipment, my guys would say, "Oh, Chief, go away. We got this under control." Took away all the fun. Took away all the fun. All right. Here's one I want to talk about. We talked about prime and embers. If you saw the newspaper, there was information about a new recreation center, a new regional recreation center. And I've got that highlighted in the, I'm zooming out on the county map on the other screen. Pardon me just a second. Let me turn off some of this flood stuff. All right, here we go. So that's included in the next video 162. Let me throw this map back over here. So we're back at the county map. All right. Here's Eastport. Okay. This is Bexley Trail. If you follow it to the north, it goes up across the turnpike. That's the Bexley Bridge. This is the Shallow Creek Country Club and Golf Course. This is Water's Edge here, Shady Brook, Middleton. This over here on this side, lower portion here, this is Long Prairie, and this is Marsh Bend Trail. And Marsh Bend Trail, if you follow it down, watch the cursor, it goes all the way down to this traffic circle. This traffic circle, the road that this is going, this is McNeil. At this intersection on the southeast corner is where a new regional rec center will be built. They filed the permitting for it. Keith Perlman took great pleasure in saying he beat me to getting it out. Keith is one of the writers for the Daily Sun. He's a good friend of mine. So how far is it away from Olympia? Olympia is up here. And this is the new recreation center. No idea what it's going to be called. It's about 2.1 miles, all right, away as the crow flies, which is pretty typical, about 2 to 3 miles between these regional recreation centers. There's actually, I think, 14 or 15 of them? There's quite a few of them, and they're spaced out, and they do a good job. You know, so there's a regional recreation center here, and if we back up to this corner right here, you really can't see it in this map. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah. So this is Bush Boulevard. This goes all the way up to Central Parkway. But there is the Mustang Recreation Center going in this spot. Mustang is like Saluki and Saint-Tropez and Franklin and all the other ones. So lots coming, you know, for recreation centers. Of course, there's 2 more golf courses over here, and then of course you can see in this right here, you can see some of the golf courses. I've got all this covered in 162. As soon as I get the audio track done, I'm going to be doing audio tracks while the cookies are in the oven tonight. All right, let's go back. We got some comments here. Yeah, $50 a year is nothing. I'm okay with that. Yeah. I was in repair division on board a submarine tender. I never painted. Well, that's because you were in the repair division, Craig. You know, you had deck division, which did most of your painting. You know, you might have to paint your spaces. On board a submarine, we don't have a repair division. We have a small deck division. Everybody paints. We don't have damage control teams except the off-going watch. Submarines are, you wear many hats and do many jobs on a submarine. So BV wants to know any info on when Genesis will be coming to Eastport. It's not coming to Eastport. It's coming to the Middleton area. If we were to look at that, let's go back to that. Let's go back to the map. I'll show you where it's going to be. This, okay, so this is Middleton, okay? Right here in this section, this is where Publix is going in. This is where the Hamlin Hotel is going in. This is Landstone Boulevard. This is Gartner right here. And between them two is this plot of land right here. That, from the information I've seen, is where the gym is going, and I'm assuming it's going to be Genesis. And yes, that is where our house is, that Debbie and I own, and it will block our view of, Middleton. Right now, the killer is, if the wind is blowing right, and I step out on the back lanai, I get the smoke smell from Four Rivers, and it's deadly. Man, I start getting hungry real quick. All right. So we talked about Genesis. Let's go back to the other one so I can read that. Do you recommend creative finish carpentry for interior and exterior painting? And do you or villages have a recommendation for fixing and repainting textured driveway and patio? So creative finish painted the new house when they put in the crown molding. I highly recommend them. They were in and out in a day. Great work. They came in with like 14 people, and you know, when they left, everything was done. Everything was spotless. They cleaned up after themselves. It looked great. I can't speak highly enough about creative finish carpentry. They did both my houses in the villages. But as far as fixing and repainting textured driveways and patio, no, I don't have any recommendations on those. Let's see. Thank you, Craig, for your service. Thank you. Appreciate that. I would literally stand on the weather deck. Oh, here we go. So Craig says, I would literally stand on our weather deck, shop door, and watch the bosun's mates paint the deck all day long. Yeah, must be nice. I did my share of painting when I was on the submarine. And, you know, I honestly, when I made chief, I thought I was done painting. And then during refit, they put me in charge of the paint crew. And, you know, the paint crew got to paint the exterior of the hull, topside. And on a submarine, on a missile boat, there is a superstructure. We got a flat deck, but the missile tubes come up out of the hull, so there's a whole bunch of mechanical equipment underneath that superstructure that all has to be painted. Every upkeep, oh my God, you want to talk about a nightmare. Trying to paint that in Georgia in the summertime, the sun's beating down on this hot black deck. It's got to be 120 degrees in there. We had fans blowing in there. It was terrible. I absolutely hated going in there. Let's see. Hey Don, do you know if Kroger and Publix have a non-compete agreement. Jerry and Linda said Kroger is discontinuing deliveries. Yep, Kroger has announced they're discontinuing deliveries. I don't know of any non-compete clauses or agreements between the two. I know Kroger's been delivering for about 3 years, maybe a little longer that I've seen. I don't know that Debbie ever used them. I don't ever remember. Yeah, I was kind of sad when I saw that too, because I know a lot of people use them. I mean, you see their trucks, I want to say almost as much as you see an Amazon truck, but that's an understatement. My God, Amazon, I mean, how many times do they got to come through a neighborhood? 6, 7 times a day, I think they probably come through based on the cameras. I got cameras on the front of my house, and they pick up the motion, and every time you turn around, it's firing off because an Amazon truck goes by. Let's see. JSR did my crown molding. They're also very happy. It's good to know. Thought you would stake out. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Craig says, I had to crawl around the inside of the sail repairing periscope and antenna mast. That was cramped hot, so yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, I only went in the sail a couple of times. The hell with that. Man, that is scary city. The sail is, people sometimes call it a conning tower. It's not a conning tower because there's nothing inside of it other than equipment. There's no pressurized spaces on a modern submarine. Not a fun place to be, man. There's so many masts and antennas in there, and I mean, if you're going to go in there, they've got to tag out everything so nobody raises a mast, so nobody gets killed. Yeah, Tammy says she's going to miss Kroger. I understand that. I think a lot of people are. All right, wow. So we are already at 4:15. Anybody got any more questions before we call it a day? It's been great talking with you all. The only other thing I had on my list of things I wanted to talk about was the lawsuit with CDD8 over the little white crosses. I think personally that CDD8 made a poor decision. I think the long-term ramifications on that are going to be very negative as far as deed restrictions go. The whole little white cross issue, it's not about the cross. It's about any lawn ornaments. People try to claim religious freedom. You signed the deed restrictions. It said no lawn ornaments. That's the end of it. Okay. This just drug out too long, and I think the long-term ramifications are going to be nothing but negative from this. People are going to try and abuse the system. All right. Thank you. Okay, Patty says, thank you for another good show. Enjoy the chocolate chip cookies tonight. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Okay. Thank you, Patty. All right. Let's see. What else? We got one more comment that just popped up. I gotta make this bigger over here. Here we go. It's bigger on this side. Thank you, Dawn. We feel like we are so much more prepared for when we get down there, hopefully next year. I think you're going to love it here. It's a great place to live. But other than that, anything else? What else was on here? We talked about Thanksgiving, talked about Prime and Ember, talked about the new rec center, talked about everything on my list, and I think we covered most everybody's questions. Folks, have a happy Thanksgiving. If you want to make a contribution to our firefighters, look at on the YouTube description for this video. You will see links to the GoFundMe links, and you can make a donation there. Don't try and make them through YouTube. GoFundMe has a 3% charge. YouTube, through them, it's a 40 or 45% charge. So we want as much to go to the firefighters as possible. But things are looking good. thanks to Four Rivers, thanks to Publix, thanks to the folks at Lowe's. They're providing all the drinks. Thanks to all the people. Again, we've got about $5,500 in contributions and dozens and dozens of people contributing food. It's going to be a great thing. Thank you all, and just wait for the devil worshippers, Muslims or witches who want to place their religious objects. Yep, there you go. You know, I've seen some comments online about swastikas. Okay, guess what? Swastika is a religious emblem or a religious icon from reading online for the Buddhists. It is what it is. But again, thanks everyone. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week. I'm out of here.
So we all know when people move into their homes, especially in Florida, we're limited for storage space. So what we do is we come in and help create storage space by maximizing what is currently available in their kitchens and their closets and other rooms. So a few of the things that we really pride ourselves on is communication with the customer, and our attention to detail is second to none. If you're looking to transform your kitchen, closet, or any other space in your home, give us a call or check out our website to book an appointment.
Thanks for watching today's broadcast of Gold Wingnut Live. These weekly broadcasts and the construction update videos are two of the ways I bring information to you about the construction happening here in the villages. At Gold Wingnut Productions, I also provide a photo-video service for new homes under construction. If you're building a new home in the villages and you need someone to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates, then contact me through my website, goldwingnut.com, and arrange for a photo-video package of your new home. I've nearly 20 years in the construction industry as a project manager, and in the last 6 years, Gold Wingnut Productions has provided this valuable service to over 300 homeowners. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work is being done right and when it's not. I'm not just taking pictures like some do. I'm watching your new home build with a trained eye to help ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange for your package today, and I'll see you next week right here at Gold Wingnut Live.
Oh, well, look who remembered they have a family. Well, I guess we're dressing for comfort these days. I mean, I was already married at your age, but I guess times are different now. But don't you worry, someone out there will put up with you eventually. Look at you, just climbing up that corporate ladder. I hope you remember where you came from. Oh, you don't have to help us clean. Wouldn't want you to break a sweat. Well, look, you didn't finish your plate. It's okay, not everyone appreciates real home cooking.
The cheese tax, the cheese tax. You're gonna pay the cheese tax every time you're cooking. When the cheese comes out, this puppy comes looking. The rules are the rules and the facts are the facts. And when the cheese drawer opens, you gotta pay the tax. The cheese tax, the cheese tax. Hand it over quick or things might get ugly. I can get really loud, I'm a really barky puppy. I'm not just asking cause I'm looking for snacks. This is real important business and you gotta pay the tax.